What's good? How y'all doing this afternoon? Welcome back to the Forever I Love Atlanta Sports Podcast. It's your boy the Don with my co-host King. What's good, man?
What's good, Don? It's a lovely Sunday. About to have a good show, man. How you doing?
Hey, man. I ain't got to worry about raising my blood pressure this afternoon. I can do that this evening.
That is true. That is true. So,
Exactly. All right, we got a great guest on with us today. OJ, the Juice. That's what I like to call her. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Let everybody know where they can find you at.
What's up? What's up? Yeah, my name is Racheal Van Oranje, hence the nickname OJ. But no, I do a sports radio show actually right here where I'm at. I'm in the studio right now at ESPN 97.5 and ESPN 92.5 here in Houston, Texas. And I also host a show on YouTube called the Pickswise NFL Show for Pickswise.com. It's a sports betting, NFL-centric type of podcast. And find me on social media at Game Day OJ. That's pretty much my handle on everything. What's up, guys?
Good. Hey, if y'all like to bet and gamble, I highly recommend you guys to go subscribe to that Pickwise YouTube channel. It pretty much they give you who you need to bet on. Just saying.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for the plug, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's blowing up and it's getting bigger than I think we even expected it to be this early on in the show. I mean, we just started it this season. It's our very first season doing it. And my co-host is really cool. He's coached in the NFL, the XFL, the Canadian Football League. He's a sports analyst over for Sky Sports, which is basically like the NFL network of England in the UK. And so he's really good, and he brings a whole nother perspective to the show from like the coaching aspect, you know. So it's really fun. We're having some awesome guests on this season. I got Lisa Ann. I don't know if y'all are familiar with her or not, but she's coming on the show this week, which is pretty awesome. And yeah, it's blowing up.
That's good. We appreciate you coming on and plugging the information too. I think I followed Coach last night. He had hit me up. So I may end up bringing him on a later time as well, because I'm a coach by trade too. So I coach the game. I ain't coaching on NFL level, but hey, I still know the philosophy behind it and the
Right.
hard work and everything.
That's awesome. Yeah, and he likes Atlanta too. I mean, he's really good friends with like June Jones, and so I mean, he's worked with several people. I hear him saying assistant coaches' names all the time, left and right. So yeah, he's very familiar with the Atlanta scene.
Yeah, I know he worked with June Jones out there in Hawaii. Because June was out there back like in like the early 2000s when they had Coach Brennan and all those guys. So
Yep.
yeah. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get into the notes, King. I'll go ahead and start it off. So let's talk about college football. Georgia Southern. They played App State yesterday. App State pretty much got the best of them. The game score of the game was 34-26. Tomlin had 6 carries, 76 yards, 1 touchdown. Miller Mosley 13 carries, 49 yards. Just it's not a good way for Southern to end the season like that. UGA, yeah, that was a nightmare for Missoula yesterday. UGA won the game 49-14. So UGA should get a New Year's Six bowl game. Hopefully they should. JT Daniels, 16. He went for 16-26, 299 yards, 3 touchdowns. Everybody just still shaking their head and pretty much punching walls because they should have started this man way before, Bama, and we could have really been 9-0. But hey,
oh no,
what'd you say?
No, you wouldn't have been 9-0. I still think y'all to take that loss to Florida.
Who's y'all?
Oh, sorry. The UGA fans take that loss to Florida. Sorry, man. I know you're missing.
Well, I don't know, man. I feel like with Florida, they just couldn't generate any offense. If they would have took the L against Bama. I know that for sure. So if anything, they would have been 8-1, but still, they still would have been good enough to try to sneak into the playoffs. Without any recognition behind it. But hey, it is what it is.
Such a weird season for college football in general. I mean, look at last night. You watch LSU beat Florida, So who's to say that Georgia couldn't have got that W right there? But it's a weird season. Y'all, I just got a question. Y'all, Ohio State, did they deserve to get in?
No.
Look, no, you talk to a Michigan fan, and go ahead and Joan on me. Go ahead and drag me through the mud. Hey, I don't like Ohio State, none whatsoever,
Right.
and I feel like they ain't play nobody. They gonna just get them in, and every time they go in, they get beat and they get embarrassed. So no, they should not get in. Like I feel like Coastal Carolina can probably beat Ohio State.
Really?
Yeah.
No
put
bias.
Put it in the neutral site. Put it in the neutral site. Don't play in Columbus. Play them in the neutral site. I promise you, Coastal Carolina can beat. The Coastal Carolina got some good offensive linemen. You ain't get through that fortress. I'm telling you.
Wow, that's a big one right there. Coastal Carolina. Not
that
even
ain't a hot take. I'm telling you. And then they disrespected Coastal by giving them 13th, and they ain't even playing in the New Year's Six. I'm like, they deserve to play in the New Year's Six. They beat BYU.
Yeah.
And BYU got a bona fide first round potential draft quarterback.
Yeah.
So hey, I'm just sitting on the couch in Summer Hill, Georgia. Summer Hill, Atlanta, Georgia. Hey, I guess I don't know what I'm talking about. Hey,
who's gonna be Michigan's next coach?
Anybody but Jim Harbaugh.
What are you a fan of, King?
College, I don't have a percent football.
Okay.
But basketball is all about Duke.
Okay.
All
right.
Duke.
All right.
Football, I just love the game and I just watch it for that.
Right.
No actual team. So I'm a big hatred of UGA though. I can't stand UGA.
Why is that?
Because I don't like Kirby Smart. He's a horrible coach in my opinion.
Okay.
He gets all these good players and they never succeed in his program. It's just they get to the big games and then they lose.
Yeah.
Man, you about to get all the people that's watching, they about to log off, man.
Come on. Hey, but when you speak in facts, facts are facts.
I agree with you. I do agree with you. It just, to me, Nick Saban, it's just like with the Patriots coaching staff that leave the organization. They go somewhere, they're not successful. It's the same thing with Saban guys. They leave, and they don't have any success. But
Georgia, wait, hold on a second. Georgia has success. I feel like
they have success, but we talking about winning
in the conference. Nobody else in the conference is getting over Alabama either. You know what I mean? Like, but they're players. They go on to the next level, to the pros, and they have success there. You know.
But the thing about Georgia, it's just that now we've been recruiting well. We have the talent. It's just we're trying to win a natty. Like the last time we won a natty was 40 years ago. And we should have won a few of them with Mark Richt, and it never happened. We should have won one in 2017 after that 2017 season, but what happened in that national championship game? It just it is what it is. So it is one of those occasions that we have the players, but the decisions. Just like we just talked about with him wanting to place Stetson Bennett. Those games. And if you would have just put JT Daniels out there, we would have been fine. But there were rumors early this season saying JT Daniels was hurt most of the season, and that wasn't true. He pretty much threw Kirby Smart on the bus. He said, "I'm just out in the Arkansas game." That was it.
Yeah, it's been weird watching the whole Georgia thing with Stetson Bennett and JT go down. I'm here in Houston, but I try to keep up with it, and I was a little bit perplexed at that decision as well, but
exactly.
Yeah.
So, but hey, I feel like he got a few more years to prove himself, and we'll see. I don't think he'll have a long tenure like Rick had, because Rick stayed his welcome, I think, after 2012, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. Tech played Pitt on Thursday night, and Pitt won that game 34-20. So pretty much college football is over with for Tech, and don't think they get in a bowl game. You lose 7 games, that's it. State season's over. What you say?
What I tell you about that game? 2 scores. You say it's
Man, look, I just thought,
scores.
it's a night game, and normally Tech win night games, and they played on the flats.
Yeah.
But, Pitt does have a good team. Pitt defensive line is good. So, all right, let's talk about baseball. Marcell Ozuna, Freddie Freeman, Max Fried, they were all chosen to the All MLB first team. Ronald Acuna was selected to the second All MLB team. Also, some good news for the organization. The Augusta Green Jackets. This is a low single A minor league system that is part of the Braves organization now. So there's more. The farm system has gotten deeper, which is good for baseball. So, Atlanta United. There were rumors that spread out a couple of days ago that Gabriel Hines has been rumored to be our next manager for the club. So we should hear something, I want to say, by Wednesday. I thought they was going to make the announcement on Friday. But I guess they wanted to wait to after the MLS Cup. Congratulations to Columbus Crew. Darlington Nagbe, he pretty much was on that club that won last night. And I think he's the only player to win 3 cups with 3 different clubs. That's impressive. So,
Atlanta really loves their soccer team, huh?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
I love Atlanta United. Look, I'm telling you, if you ever come here to Atlanta and you go to one of those games, go to the tailgate, it's the best experience you will ever have with any team. Better than the Falcons tailgate, better than the Braves on the real tailgate. And I don't think they do tailgate for basketball either, but that tailgate be lit. And you drink all you want, food, everything. They feed you. They take care of you down there.
Yeah, I was there last year for a Falcons game, and I think there was an Atlanta United game going on that week, and I rented an Airbnb. It was right next to the stadium, and I go to the Falcons game, and it's more Eagles fans there than anything. It was Sunday Night Football versus the Eagles. I think it was like week 2 or week 3, but then like the next day. I'm looking around and it is lit, way more lit for the soccer team than it was for the Falcons. And I was really shook by that. I live in Houston, and soccer it's like a niche sport over here. I guess when the Dynamo are winning, Houstonians care about it more, but right now they ain't doing nothing. So there's not really any hype around them or anything like that. Houston's a real fickle town. But I was so shocked.
Atlanta is too.
Yeah. Well, you have those transient cities, where a lot of people were not originally from there. Like Houston, right? Oil and gas and the medical center and stuff. So many people come to live here from other states, other cities. So there's just not a loyal, diehard fan base for really anything other than the Astros here, it seems like. But yeah, I was really shocked at how crazy and fun that the crowd and just the vibe coming from everybody in Atlanta about the soccer team. I was really surprised because, it hadn't even been there that long, right?
Mm-hmm. No. Yeah, it was 2017. Yeah. Started up in 2017, their first season. And then the next season, we won the MLS Cup.
And I think that's what took it over the top, that MLS Cup.
Yeah. But it was already, but like when they announced the club in 2014, 15, it was already like people that were signing up for the PSLs and stuff. That it was like literally full.
That's crazy.
Like
were y'all watching soccer before?
Yeah. We had like minor teams out here, like the Atlanta Beats. We had the Atlanta Silverbacks, and then we had back in the day we had the Atlanta Chiefs. Mm-hmm. So soccer has always been popular here in Atlanta. Like, don't let the media fool you about it. And then we have a huge Hispanic population as well. Mm-hmm. So, and I ain't gonna lie, there was a few seasons when I was young, I played soccer. So,
right,
like it's a good sport, but the atmosphere just at the tailgate, and then when you go inside Mercedes-Benz Stadium, like a bomb can go off and you won't even notice it. Now with the Falcons, when we do tailgates, it's so exclusive. Like if they don't know you, you're not welcome to come to their tent. Atlanta United, like you got that striped shirt on, 5-stripe shirt on, or the logo Atlanta United, like they gonna say, hey, do you want something? Do you need something? Like that's how it's like a family reunion. It's like a block party.
Yeah. Soccer vibes, soccer crowds, man. It's different because one of the funnest sporting events that I ever went to, like professional sporting event that I have attended live, best atmosphere was for the Dynamo, the MLS team. And I remember like as soon as they scored their first goal, everybody just starts hugging each other. Like 3 people just grab me and hug me and high five me. And I was like, what the hell is going on here? And there's like a band playing and they're not paid by the franchise or anything like that.
They're doing it because they love it.
Yeah, they love it. They get together, they rehearse, they're playing throughout the whole game. People are throwing stuff onto the field like streamers when they score.
Throwing beer up in the air and stuff. Yeah, that's what they do.
You do that in an NFL game, you getting kicked out, you know?
So
I thought that was pretty lit. Yeah.
I remember because I went to a match, and I sat in the club level, like because we was doing a documentary last year on FILA Sports, and that like we won that match, and like they hit a goal, and, like somebody like from behind just lift me up. I'm like, hey, you don't put me down. You can high five me, but don't be picking me up like that, though.
That was awesome. I'm gonna have to come out there for a United game for sure. I gotta come check that out because when I lived in Atlanta, there wasn't no soccer team. So
yeah, Atlanta United is good. Like I know we had a down season this year, but they're trying to get everything right with just hiring the right manager for the club. We may end up getting some more players signed, and then our star player Jose Martinez, he was out this year with the ACL injury, so that right there hurt us. So I think we'll be back next year. If not next year, the year after next, most definitely. Because, you know, when you bring in a new manager, you know, the identity of the team changes.
Right. What happened to the current manager? Forgive me, I don't really keep up with it that much, the soccer.
Yeah, Frank de Boer, he just didn't fit the style we wanted here. He's from Europe. And the coach we had here, the manager we had here, Tata Martino, he was from Argentina, South America. South America's football is different from Europe. Europe, they play more defense. And it's a lot of, if you look at any like teams or clubs in Europe, they always have 0-0, you know, as a final score or whatever. Or whoever got the penalty or whatever, they may end up winning the match. Versus you look at Latin American soccer, you know, you're going to see a match that goes down like 5-4 or 5-3, you know, like if they have an attacking style of play. And he didn't fit that system here in Atlanta because we still had a lot of players here that had that attacking style, and that ain't the type of style they wanted to play. So that's why we went back and we trying to hire this guy named Gabriel Hines. He's from Argentina. And he probably will fit the system that we've been having here. So the turnaround shouldn't be that bad.
Sounds good to me. I like offense too. Offense sells tickets.
Yeah, it does. I like defense though too. So, but for soccer, you gotta score goals. So. All right. All right. What happened with the Hawks this week, King?
So the Hawks, they lost this game, a preseason game, but this game was more so one of those games that you needed to watch. You can't just go off the box score because you have a lot of these young players who were balling out there, like DeAndre Hunter, who had the high 18 points, and you got Capella getting 14 rebounds, who we didn't see last year play at all. This Hawks team is going to be really good, man. If you're not watching now, you need to start watching. They play again tonight, 5:00. I will be watching that game.
You watch that, and I watch the Falcons game. So you can actually scout that, and I'll be sitting over here throwing stuff, punching holes in the wall. So
I have the Falcons game on the radio, but it'll be very, very low. Trae Young didn't score to the second quarter. That's a sign right there that shows that this team doesn't. This is a team that's not going to need him to score a lot of points. They're going to need him to be a facilitator. Don't be shocked if he go from 29 points a game last year to 22 points, and now he's getting 12, 13 assists.
It's called ball distribution, man. Yeah. We got to distribute the ball around to everybody else so they can score as well. So Trae ain't got to do all that. And, you know, he's young, And when you pretty much burn yourself out like that, that can lead to injuries. So, and I'm not trying to knock on wood, I'm not trying to wish that on that man, but I'm glad we got the additions that we need to build around him.
Yeah, and this team started off slow when you watch the game. First quarter wasn't that good, but later on in the second, they started picking up. They were missing a lot of open shots in the beginning of the game, a lot of open shots. So the longer the season goes, players get in rhythm. We got to remember, the Hawks didn't play in the bubble. So they've been out of basketball for a lot longer than other teams.
Temporary.
Yeah, so that's one thing that you need to watch for. Don't look at the preseason game and look at the final score, then go look at the box score. Don't do that. You're gonna be misled on what's really going on the team.
Now, are you guys having a hard? Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. I
was gonna say, I follow a lot of people in Atlanta on my Twitter feed and stuff. And well, first of all, I just want to say I'm really happy to see that the Hawks are being aggressive and putting some talent around Trae Young, because that dude has come out and surpassed my expectations. I'll be honest with you. I didn't think he was going to be any good at the professional level. And they had Luka for 5 seconds, and they had that pick. And, looking back and I'm not upset about it. Like, Luka's a great generational talent, but so is Trae. And he was so skinny and stuff. And I don't know. I just couldn't see it. He just looks so little, but he's really good. And so I like that they're being aggressive with putting talent around him. But I think I saw on my Twitter feed, are you guys having a hard time over there in Atlanta actually being able to even watch the Hawks?
No.
I saw a lot of people complaining about it. There's some contract or something that a lot of people can't.
It's with it's with Cox Media. I think they took care of that. They said that the first half of the season they're gonna show all the games. They don't know about the second half of the season. So that's not even with the Hawks. That's also with the Braves and Atlanta United as well. They trust me. Like, they gonna take care of it, because Atlanta United, if anything, Atlanta United fans, they'll probably go to Cox Media themselves and boycott. So,
they gotta tear the roof off of that building. Yeah, they're probably just waiting to see if the Hawks are gonna be, I would assume, see how successful they're gonna be, how much viewership, how much demand is it before they pony up and pay for that. I don't really know the details of how that works, but we have a problem like that here in Houston with the Astros and the Rockets. Botched TV contracts, resulting in literally half the city can't watch them unless it's a nationally broadcasted game. So same thing here, but
yeah. But we the Hawks come on TV. That's good numbers. Like, I've looked at the numbers. Like, it's not like, oh man, everybody in the city watching it, but it's like Trae Young has brought a lot of people to State Farm Arena, to watching it on television. So like I was going to say, with the Hawks, I feel like we kind of won that trade with Luka. Luka's going to be good. Luka's been playing basketball before. No, come on, man. Luka been playing basketball before Trae Young. Come on now. He been playing pro basketball longer than Trae. Right?
Yeah.
Now, he's going to peak early. Trae ain't hit his peak yet, man.
I understand that, but Luka is on a different level. I was with OJ when we got Trae. I was happy, and I think they did it for a marketing reason. Like, he was the hot thing coming out of college. You could shoot the deep ball. He was just hot. But Luka, he's on a different level, man. He's gonna be a top 3 player in the NBA come the next 2-3 years, brother. He's gonna. Here's
the thing. If we would have kept Luka on the team, who else was going to be around him? You see what I'm saying? And on top of that, we kind of wanted, when I say we wanted to trade, look at not just Trae Young, but look what we also got. We got another pick in the 2019 draft. And look, I'm going to say this, when I saw the preseason game, Cam Reddish and DeAndre Hunter look good.
Yes.
They look real good. Mm-hmm. So, you got 3 players, 3 great players, 3 good players, and we don't even know they ceiling yet. Especially with Trae, he going into his 3rd season. Yeah. And you got 1 player, you know what you got out of him, because everybody got tape and film from this guy when he played in Europe. So that's what I'm saying. I feel like the Hawks really won that trade. Not just looking at just trade, but you got to look at the overall picture of it, the big picture of it, by getting DeAndre Hunter and Cam Reddish, because you maneuvered yourself to get those two players last year's draft.
Yeah, Cam. I've been talking about Cam on King's Round. He's going, in my opinion, he should be starting at the 3. He's just that good. Of course, I'm biased because I'm a Duke fan, so I've been watching him since college. But
His
Cam
shot
Reddish
just
really
lethal, man.
good.
Like as soon as the ball left his hand, it was already in the net. I'm like, dang.
Yeah. He's been working with Steph Curry. If y'all haven't seen it, he's been working with Steph Curry during the offseason to work on his jumper, which is always good. And we got to remember, he was injured his whole freshman year. I mean, not freshman year, his rookie year. He was injured his whole year. So a lot of that, what we saw him was not his full potential. And then he has to learn the NBA in 82 games instead of like 25, 30. That's big. So this is Cam Reddish year. I'm a big proponent of that. I think he's going to shine this year. Second best player.
I agree.
What y'all think about Capella? Y'all receiving him well, or how do you feel about him?
Go ahead, Don.
Go ahead, Key. Go ahead.
So Capella is a guy that I just need him to get rebounds. That's it.
Right.
We had nobody last year that could get consistent rebounds when we needed rebounds. And him getting 14 rebounds last night shows that, okay, he can get rebounds. Of course, the Magic don't have a true dominant center, so we won't really tell until we play a team with a true dominant center in the regular season. But I just need him to get rebounds. That's it.
Yeah, when he was here with the Rockets, I had a love-hate relationship with him big time. But towards the end of his stint here, it was more of a hate than a love. But my biggest issue with him is just, I mean, I get that he's a Euro and everything, but sometimes he was just way too soft, just way, way too soft. And I just wanted to see some more aggressiveness come out of him, or he would just miss some of these stupid, like easy, lobs, layups, dunks. Like he would never just slam it in. Like he would be dainty around the rim and then it end up bouncing off, like, I don't know. He frustrated the hell out of me. But I've also seen there's a really good side. There's a lot of upside with him too. And we've seen games where he can put some points on the board. And I've seen games where he's gotten 20 plus rebounds and stuff. So hopefully I'm hoping, I root for everything in Atlanta because I love Atlanta. I miss Atlanta a lot. And I want to see them do well. And I hope you guys get the good side of him.
Yeah, I think with Lloyd Pierce, he's going to take that softness out of him real quick. I like what I saw out of him on the preseason game. He looks like he'll be fine. I think it all depends on who we play. Like he's going to get the start, but we also going to have to think about Big O, the person we just drafted, and see what we got out of him as well. So I don't see Capella's not going to be in our long-term plans here in Atlanta. He'll probably be here this season, and then if the progression of Big O happens quickly than we think, he'll be gone. And that'll also open up some money that we can get. You already know who we getting. Big Greek.
So
Greek freak.
Why are we not talking about Bruno Fernando, man? He's a good center, man. We got to stop sleeping on this man.
I agree, man. I agree, but at the same time, you know how it is, man. Like, hopefully Lloyd has a mindset of the best player will play. But you got to think about it. When you draft somebody in the first round, when you draft somebody like Big O, 6th overall, you got to see what you got in this man. Like he's getting paid more than Bruno.
Understood, but Bruno can ball, and I think as fans we sleeping on this man. He's gonna.
But the roster's so deep right now, man. We can't keep everybody.
That's true.
And if we had our way, like you gonna keep what Clint, we gonna keep Clint and Bruno, and then who you? So you want to keep those two, or you gonna bring in Greek Freak? I'm gonna bring in Greek Freak.
I like Giannis so much, man, but I really, honestly, I'm about to shock the world, but I do not want to see him in Atlanta. I do not.
Why?
I understand his game, but he's not a best player on the team going to lead you to a championship. You see him in Milwaukee, he can do it. So now that you put him on the Hawks, he would be the best player on the team.
Because of you know why? Because of the coaching and the culture up there, man. If he go to a whole different team and learn to be a leader, he'll be fine. This is why I say, like, I don't think Lloyd Pierce is going to be here longer than what we think he's going to be here. Now, if he can get us to the playoffs and get us higher than the 6th seed, maybe he'll be here for a little longer. But we just sneak in the playoffs or even miss the playoffs, yeah, I think he's going to be gone, man. We got to bring in a coach that's going to elevate these guys.
Like, if Trey is going to become what we all think he is going to become, hell, what he is right now, you know, I had never even thought about Giannis going to the Hawks, first of all. So that kind of caught me off guard because now I'm picturing it. And to your point, King, like, I haven't seen him play with a point guard that I don't think is as good as Trey.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That could be a game changer right there.
Everybody, a big guy needs somebody to give him the ball.
Yeah. And create shots and help him create shots. And, like, I don't ever want to see him bring the ball down the court anyways, but I know he does that sometimes with the Bucks. But, like, it'd be a totally different style of play for him. It'd be interesting to see how that would work out. But I think it would be to his benefit. I think there would be less put on his back, less stress put on his back to have to, you know, carry the team as much as he does. Like with the Hawks and with Trey, that'd be fire. And Capella, that'd be fire. And Hunt, like you said, Hunter, and man, I really like the sound of that. I think I'm more keen on it than you are.
Yeah, we
got Bogey here, and you got we got Rondo. Like, don't forget about those guys.
You got Rondo. Man, yeah, that was a great pickup. That's some solid depth because what that dude showed me with the Lakers this year, what he still got left in the tank is way more than I thought he had left in the tank, man. And he from a coaching, like a veteran standpoint as well, like he about to school everybody. And you know what? Capella could probably learn a thing or two from him, honestly, because he's scrappy as hell, man. Rondo was a great pickup for the Hawks.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Maybe it's just I don't want to see this core that we have now be broken up for Giannis and it don't work. That's right. What I'm really, because the team that we have now, if over 2 to 3 years, this team could win a championship if they mold it correctly and have the right coaching. And I don't want to see them trade away Cam Reddish or Hunter, Pella, and then we get Giannis and then it don't work. So that's probably what I'm fearful of. I'm rather see the development. So
you're not going to be trading anybody. Giannis is on his last year of the deal, so
you have to get rid of somebody.
You got to create space for him. So you got to probably trade a couple of players away and get picks, you know, and just have more room for him. But I will say, you know, when you get rid of Capella, I don't think Rondo's going to be here that long either. I think he just going to be one year gap for him. And I think that's good because people forget we got rid of when we get rid of, but Vince Carter retired. So you needed that veteran presence in the locker room with these young guys. Yeah. So
Rondo's just here to help mold Trae Young into a leader.
That's what we need.
Yeah, so
and DeAndre Hunter, don't sleep on DeAndre Hunter. He's a leader in his own right as well. I've seen it out of him when he played at Virginia. Helped them win.
That's a champion right there.
Exactly.
That's a champion. Unlike Cam Reddish.
Is there any fire to this smoke though? This idea of Giannis coming to Atlanta, like
he's friends with Bogey, the person we just got from Sacramento. Mm-hmm. They I think they play Euro ball together. So that right there, I think that was
a good pickup.
That's gonna probably lure him more to Atlanta. But I may be wrong, you know. I hope I'm right, but could be wrong. But I feel like with Giannis, his best bet was just to come to Atlanta. I know a lot of people saying, well, he'll go out there to Los Angeles with LeBron. I'm like, man, that's not fair, man. Come on. He needs something.
I was thinking Miami. I was thinking Miami. I feel like I've heard a lot of smoke about him going to Miami, being open to the idea. And, I mean, honestly, who could blame him? I mean, the dude has been in Milwaukee. Like, for how many years? Like, I'm sure, like, when he dreamed of having a career in the NBA here in America, like, Milwaukee is probably not what he envisioned. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I wouldn't blame him if he wants to go to Miami. and that's a great franchise with a great coach and just freaking Miami. So, but yeah, I mean, Atlanta, man, I would not complain for sure.
Exactly. All right. Now, talk about the Falcons. The game today will be played at 4:25 against the Los Angeles Chargers. Hayden Hurst was named the NFL Community MVP with his story about depression. If y'all haven't looked at that video, please go look at that video. It'll open up some eyes, you guys, and awareness that, you know, you may think somebody may be all right, and, you know, chances are they really not. So I highly recommend you guys look at that. Let's talk about the injury report today. Todd Gurley will play. Keanu Neal will play. Fowler will play. Hopefully he do something in the game. Ito Smith, man, look, I'm sick of Dante Fowler, man. I'm just saying. Ito Smith, his neck questionable. Foye Oluokun will play. Hayden Hurst questionable. Grady Jarrett questionable. Julio Jones is out. Ricardo Allen is out. Caleb McGarry's out, and James Carpenter, he did not participate. Hopefully he's out too, because he is a human turnstile, and I'm pretty sure my 215-pound self can go out there and block defensive tackle better than what he's. So.
I'm taking the L, bro. I'll be honest. That's why another reason why I'm not watching. I feel like we're gonna take an L. No Julio.
Wait,
man, you know what, man? It's so man, the Falcons work. Falcons it works in mysterious ways. You don't know, man. Like, we can have all these issues that go out there and win the game 35-15. You know, I'm not saying that's gonna happen, but I feel like both teams right now are struggling. The Chargers are not that good, neither. They about to end up firing Anthony Lynn.
Yeah. Yeah, he about to get let gone for sure. But I don't understand. You seem so convinced. Like, there's so much conviction in your voice when you just said taking the L. I don't know how the hell. Like, I'm looking at my bookie, right, on the sports book, and I've been thinking this all day. I don't know how in the hell Atlanta is 1.5-point dogs right now to the Chargers. I mean, mind you, these are two teams that absolutely just, it's like their mission statement is to find ways to lose games. Like, I get it. And they love to blow leads, but you just look at the rosters and the talent on the rosters, and I don't understand how the heck Atlanta is a 1.5 dog. I fully expect Atlanta to win this game. I mean, the Chargers just put up a goose egg to the Patriots.
Patriots not even looking good right now.
Cam Newton threw for like 60 yards in a game and still put up 45 points on offense. Like, if a Cam Newton offense can do that to the Chargers, why the hell can't Matt Ryan do it?
In my opinion, it's not about what Cam Newton did. It was about what that defense did. They also scored on special teams. So that Bill Belichick defense is really good. So they're playing a young quarterback. And when you look at our defense, it's nothing compared to the Bill Belichick defense. And then our offense is called by Dirk Cutter. And then
on top of that, the whole coaching staff for the Falcons is just trash.
Exactly. So that's why I got the Chargers. I think Justin Herbert's going to go out there. He's going to throw the ball a lot. And Keenan Allen's going to have a good game. This is going to be a day for Keenan Allen, in my opinion. Nothing wrong with Terrell. Going to be a great cornerback in the NFL, but Keenan Allen's on a different level. And I don't think anybody that he's faced this year is on Keenan Allen's level.
Hot take. I feel like AJ Terrell's going to get a pick today off Herbert. Look, man, like, he's supposed to got one last week. He almost got one last week. But I feel like he's going to get one today. Like, that boy, he's been playing real good. Yeah. So, I already made my prediction. I did a prediction show on Friday. I said we're going to win today 24-14, and I'm sticking to that. So,
24-14. I suck at math. What total would that be? 40. What did you say, 24-14? That'd be 38. Okay. I'm looking at the point total. It's set at 49, and I actually bet the over on that. But you seeing a low scoring game between these two teams that can't play any defense?
It's going to be – I feel like the execution for both teams is just not going to be there. Like, Falcons right now, I think is in the top 5 of drop passes.
Yeah.
And Julio's not playing. Calvin Ridley just been he made some great catches, but he dropped the ball too a lot. We're not running the ball well. They not running the ball well. So when you don't run the ball like that, like your offense is going to be one dimensional.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to rely on your defense to actually make stops, get turnovers to allow your offense to get more chances to score.
So I got 24-16. I said that in my prediction show last night. 24-16 Chargers. Falcons can't score in the red zone. So I think when they get down there, they're going to be kicking a lot of field goals. So also hot take. I don't want to say hot take, but Calvin Ridley is going to get his first 1,000-yard season. He only needs 95 yards. So
he'll get that.
I feel like he can get it today. That's going to be a good thing for him, his first 1,000-yard season. Hopefully he does not get injured, knock on wood.
Matt Ryan about to break a record today too.
Which one is that?
Or soon. I read it earlier. Just a couple more passing yards, and he will pass up Peyton Manning for the most passing yards within like the first 13 years of his career. Is like Peyton Manning, and then who was right? Oh, Drew Brees. Peyton Manning and Drew Brees are right there, and Matt Ryan is like this close to passing him up, I think, for the first overall spot.
And you still gonna have those people tell you he's not a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he's trash. Oh, he's trash. We need to move on from Matt Ryan. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Yeah, we got a question on that for hearing this. Well, we got a question on that here in a second. So, all right. So let's talk about this. This season has been very disappointing for us as fans. How do you feel, about, when we went into the season, that was high hopes of us actually doing better than what we did.
Yeah.
What was your feelings before the season started?
Oh man, same as everyone else's, like I knew it was going to be tough because of the division with Tom Brady coming to the division, and then, Drew Brees doing Drew Brees things. And I knew it was going to be tough, but I fully expected the Falcons to be an actual contender to make a deep playoff run. I just thought there was too much talent on the roster. I was looking up, through Matt Ryan's career, the first time around with Dirk Cotter on that coaching staff was Matt Ryan's statistically his best season ever. And so I thought that could be recreated, so to speak. The way that they ended, the final 7 or 8 games of last season, the way that they ended, they started winning games that people didn't, you beat New Orleans, beat the 49ers, winning games that they weren't supposed to win. The way they ended on that note, I thought they were going to pick right back up from where they left off. And
that's the identity of the Falcons. That we always did that under Dan Quinn. Like, we stuck it up the first half of the season. The second half, we dominate everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a movie on repeat, right? But I was blown away, and then like start off the season, right? They're putting up 40 points a game, and you would think, if you're an offense, you sit there and you think, well, I'm doing my job. What the hell is the defense doing? And it still boggles my mind, like how the hell did a Dan Quinn team just be so bad defensively? If he was part of the guys that gets credit for the Legion of Boom in Seattle, you know what I mean? Like, what the hell's going on here in Atlanta? I don't know, man.
Racheal, OJ, Juice.
Yeah.
Look, I want you to go check our channel out. All right. I've done a lot of coach scouting, and I've said this on record. Dan Quinn was never proven at all. We hired this man because of flash. It looked good. He was a flavor of the month. He just won the Super Bowl. He just took them, he was on that squad to, that lost that Super Bowl against New England. And it was a sexy hire.
Yeah. I thought it was a good hire at the time.
Yeah. Me, I didn't. Because I know Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll is a defensive-minded head coach.
Right.
You go back to the time when he was coaching the USC before he came there to Seattle. USC was a dominant defensive team. Yeah, they had Reggie Bush and Matt Leinart, Carson Palmer, all those guys. But at the same time, like that's the fingerprints on that Legion of Boom is credit to Pete Carroll.
Mm-hmm.
And I also throw in a little bit of Gus Bradley a little bit too, because
Right.
Dan Quinn was Johnny come lately after that team was already established. The only thing he had to do really was like the defensive line. They brought in Red Ryan and what's the guy named Bennett, and their defensive line got better. Other than that, like he wasn't proven as a defensive minded head coach at all. Even when he was down there in Miami, he was under Nick Saban. Nick Saban, another defensive minded head coach. Let's talk about Mike Smith. Same thing. When he was in Jack Del Rio with Jacksonville 2007 before we hired him, Jack Del Rio, another proven defensive minded head coach. So they rode coattails on their head coaches, and we saw this and said, oh, well, they coach the defense side of the ball, so we could go ahead and just bring them here. We could replicate that success. It did not work. This is why I'm high on coaches like who are proven. This is why I like a guy like Don Martindale, the defensive coordinator for Baltimore. This is why I'm high on a guy like Dennis Allen, the defensive coordinator for the Saints. He pretty much ever since he's been back with that team in 2006, outside of 2006, every year they have been a top 5 defensive unit. All right. Todd Bowles didn't get a fair shake in New York. Mm-hmm. I would like to interview him. Rex Ryan. I know a lot of people don't like Rex Ryan. Rex Ryan is a proven defensive-minded guru who could come here in Atlanta and fix this defense. Now, I know a lot of people like offense. I like Brian Dabble, the offense coordinator for Buffalo. Done a great job developing Josh Allen. He's been around championship team, won 5 rings with the Patriots, won 1 natty with Alabama. It's to me, you hire people like that who are proven. People want Eric Bieniemy. Eric Bieniemy hasn't proven anything. You're not even calling the plays up there in Kansas City. That's Andy Reid.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point because he's the hot name on the market right now. I know that's every team is going to be running after him. I know the Texans and the Falcons going to be hard. They're going to be pushing hard, and I think the Falcons have the edge because the Falcons actually have draft picks. Whereas the Texans don't.
We don't need an Eric Bieniemy. I'm going to be honest with you on that. You hire Eric Bieniemy, it's going to be very similar to Dan Quinn or look at the Chargers, Anthony Lynn. Anthony Lynn he has been a running backs coach by trade pretty much most of his career. Mm-hmm. And they hired him after what he did in Buffalo when they got rid of Rex Ryan. They just brought him in to Los Angeles, and they thought that he was going to be good. He's not that good. Same thing with Eric Bieniemy. Eric Bieniemy, he's been a running backs coach by trade most of his career. He outside of Kansas City, when he was an OC there, he's an OC there now. He was an OC in Colorado in 2011, 2012. 2012, they won 1 game. Barely won that game. Their offense was trash. They lost to a team called Sacramento State. Sacramento State. And I'm saying to myself,
Sacramento State?
I'm not from Cali, so like I don't even think that's a division. Is it a Division I school?
Probably not. No, can't be.
Exactly. So I really don't pay that much attention to it at all unless it's an HBCU or something like that. But I just feel like he's not proving yet. You don't know what you have in this guy. Like I brought on a beat writer from Kansas City Chiefs, the Arrowhead Pride. And they also said that he's not calling the plays out there in Kansas City, none whatsoever. So you don't know what you're getting out of him.
Right. I love your idea of the offensive coordinator from the Bills. I mean, that's for a while there, I really wanted Greg Roman because I was thinking about what he's been able to do with some quarterbacks that, I guess when they were elsewhere, like, okay, Kaepernick, for example, and then with Lamar Jackson, who I saw a lot of Lamar Jackson like in college and stuff. I was at the game versus my alma mater, the University of Houston, where they were ranked like number 3rd or number 4th in the country, and we stomped him. I mean, absolutely, like destroyed him. I think he got sacked 12 times in that game, and like it's just so from like the jump, like I haven't had very high impression of Lamar Jackson, but I was thinking what Greg Roman was doing with him really impressed me, MVP season and whatnot. And then, he had Kaepernick playing at a really high level. But then the more I started to think about it, I kind of jumped off that bandwagon because I'm like, you know what, though? Those quarterbacks under him are really good like the first 3 years, and then they kind of start to get exposed after that. And there's like no growth or progression. Why is that? Tell me.
You know why? Because this is why teams have tape. All right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you may fool somebody that first year, your rookie season, but after that, everybody got tape on you, baby.
Right.
Like we expose you. You are exposed to the world of how you play. Mm-hmm. And Greg Roman, to me, I feel like I don't like him as a head coach. I feel like that's kind of Jim Caldwell-ish type of guy. You know, I never liked Jim Caldwell as a head coach. He's a good offensive coordinator. Yeah. But head coach, no. And this year they struggling. Lamar Jackson is struggling this year.
Yeah.
But guess what? The Ravens defense is still looking good.
Right.
So this is why I said Don Martindale from the Ravens, I feel like he'll be a great fit here in Atlanta. The culture would dynamically change. And also we talking about coaches. The main thing the Falcons really need to be focused on is the general manager. Because we know for all these years under Thomas and Mitchell, this man have never addressed the trenches the right way. Not getting a pass rush, not getting edges, not getting offensive linemen to protect Matt Ryan, not, getting a good running back or whatever. Like, we always look at flash instead of substance. And I feel like a guy that we need to bring here to Atlanta to be the general manager. I know everybody talking about Louis Riddick. No. I like Joe Ortiz from Baltimore. This man has been with the organization ever since 1998 with Ozzie Newsome. And we know Ozzie Newsome is like the best general manager. He's going to go in the Hall of Fame as the best general manager of all time.
For sure.
All right. The talent, this Ortiz was around and he drafted. This man has hit on 60% of his draft picks every single season. Go look it up. I have that information for you, and I can send it to you. It's on. I did a video on Ortiz on Friday night. So and I brought a beat writer on for Baltimore. So this is a person that we need to look at, because right now the Falcons, we're not going to be able to acquire a lot of talent in free agency. We have to hit on draft picks.
Right. And that sucks too, because I think that Atlanta should be a destination for free agents, but
yeah, the cap is hurting us right now. We don't have the room, and you got these dummy GMs pretending to be Madden GMs, thinking this is a video game, and they say, "Oh, well, we need to trade Matt Ryan for picks, or we need to trade Julio Jones for picks." You can't do that because of the debt cap. You're going to eat up a lot of money, and we're going to be rebuilding because they're talking about we should rebuild. Rebuilding sounds good, but it's not, because you don't know how long you're going to be rebuilding for. Look at the Dolphins. Look at the Jets. They've been rebuilding for years.
Right. Yeah, for sure. And you have some literally, I feel like I keep overusing this word, but generational talents on this team. Why would you ever rebuild when you have Matt freaking Ryan, Julio Jones, and Calvin Ridley? Like, I know Matt Ryan's getting kind of old or whatever, but I mean, that dude is still just as good as his prime. And with the right coach and the right system and the right draft, you give him a little bit of help on the defense, a defense that can just keep other teams like below 30 points a game. Shouldn't be too much to ask. But, if he did that, I mean, his entire career would have gone differently,
Exactly.
But it ain't time for a rebuild. Not yet. I wouldn't consider it, not until Matt Ryan tells you that he wants to retire.
Exactly. Bingo. We've been saying this for the longest. Like, the problem with the Falcons under Matt Ryan is not been Matt Ryan. It's the lack of defense. We never got a defense. We never got a defensive line. And that's not a player's fault. That is the GM and the front office fault for not getting the tools to win. You have to have all three phases of football. You have to execute: offense, defense, and special teams. The philosophy of Thomas and Mitchell, he said this after he got fired because he went on the NBC sports, I guess, show or whatever. He said that his identity, he wanted to build this offensive juggernaut in Atlanta. Well, yeah, that sounds good. He's going to sell tickets. But who's stopping? Who are we stopping? We're not stopping anybody because we ain't got no defense. So We put up 30, 40 points a game. Guess what? Team just gonna all thing they got to do is just score a little bit more points than what we put up, and they gonna win the game.
Right.
And this is why I've been trying to tell people, like, it's our defense and coaching has been the biggest issue for the Falcons for years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's weird. I never heard Thomas say that, but I mean, offense ain't never been a problem that I can remember. You know what I mean? Like it's been the defense, and it sucks. I feel like we're squandering the talents of Matt Ryan and Julio, and like the rest of my life, I'm gonna look back on this age in Falcons football as a fan and just be like, what could have been? What could have been? And I'll never get over the Super Bowl loss right here in Houston. I will never get over that. That's the only time in my life I've ever shed a tear over a sporting event. And I was fighting back. I was at a Super Bowl party at halftime. Everybody's texting me, congratulations on your first Super Bowl, blah, blah. People from everywhere are texting me. And then I just kept telling all of them, I was like, okay, this team likes to blow leads. And I don't know if you noticed, but Tom Brady is on the other side of the ball. Like the game ain't over till I see that clock.
Bingo.
Right? Yeah, it ain't over. But it's like the Falcons, I guess they also thought that they won the game too at halftime. And oh man, everybody at this party I was at was like, are you okay? And I'm just sitting there. I'm like, don't let him see you cry. Don't let him see you cry. But my eyes were all watered up and red, and like just, oh my God, that was the worst experience ever. But they need to give Matt Ryan something. Like he needs redemption from that. 28-3 is going to haunt us forever.
It can, but like I said, we have to get this GM and coach hire right this time. Like Arthur Blank and Rich McKay, they can't be bull crapping around with this. They got to take this serious. They really need to take this serious. If Arthur Blank wants to see a Super Bowl before he leaves this earth, he has to take this hire seriously. Everybody keep talking about Louis Riddick. I just don't trust this man because one, he doesn't like Matt Ryan. If you look at any of the games he commentated on when we play Monday Night Football or whatever, he trashes Matt Ryan. Matter of fact, there was an interview. I got the link in my phone. I can send it to you. He does not like Matt Ryan. Stephen A. Smith, they don't like Matt. He don't like Matt Ryan. Stephen A. Smith needs to shut up. You don't know nothing about football. Stick to basketball. All right.
Yeah.
But Louis Riddick, he doesn't like Matt Ryan at all because his identity is he likes mobile style quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. And if you remember, he was the pro scouter for the Eagles back in from 2008 to 2013. He brought in Vic. He brought in Bitch Young. He made that dream team. Mm-hmm. And that dream team went 8-8 and they missed playoffs. So we don't need nobody coming in here playing around trying to think this is a video. Once again, think this is a video game, and we end up losing.
Yeah.
And then you got to blow everything up and start over again.
Yeah, we don't really have that type of time.
Yeah, this team can be turned around in 1 year easily.
Exactly.
With the right coaching and the right GM, this team next year with the same players. Because if you look at this year, we could easily be a playoff or fighting for a playoff if a few games go our way, just a few. So it's one of those things where this team, as constructed, can be a playoff. So as long as we get the right coach and the right GM, you might need some offensive linemen and the defense and some more defensive linemen. But outside of that, this team, as constructed, can do the job.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing, man. Look at the coach. Look at the coach. How from 2017 how they look, and then the next season they was playoff team. Beat the Chiefs. I believe they beat the Chiefs in Kansas City. I believe. Did they? No, they didn't beat the Chiefs. They beat some other team. I forgot what team they beat. But so that's what I'm saying. They beat Buffalo. That's what they beat. But that's what I'm saying. Like, if you hire a coach, the problem with this team is the lack of identity and coaching. You hire the right people to come in, and you have a good draft. We right back in it. And this is why I come at people on Twitter and I say, look, do not come to me talking about no running backs, no quarterback, especially no quarterback. Some people talking about we need a cornerback as well. I'm like, no, we good on that. We need we need to address the trenches. If it ain't, if I don't come to me talking about no other skills position. We need to get defensive end. If we try to go to a 34, we need to get a good nose tackle to shore up that interior.
Hey, Wade Phillips is available.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, we can bring him in as a DC if we bring in Dabble.
Yeah, he still wants to coach too. But I read a crazy statistic once about him. It was like Wade Phillips' defenses when he first gets to a franchise, to a team, and he constructs that defense. I think it was either the first 2 or 3 years of him being the DC for any team, they're always a top 7 defense in the league. That's like throughout his entire career. And then after that, it kind of dips off after like 3 years. But man, if you could do something like that for the Falcons and give them 2 or 3 years, that's probably about what your window is left with Matt Ryan. You know, give him a decent defense to work with. I mean, he will do the rest. I don't even care the dude is so talented. It's like I've heard so many people slander him and say well, he's had this receiver. If he's had this receiver, you know what I mean? Like those receivers make him. I'm like, no, they really don't. Like whoever you put in front of Matt Ryan, he gets the ball to them. And if that's true, then why the hell ain't a dude like, Austin Hooper? Why is he falling off the map, basically?
Exactly.
If it's these dudes that are making Matt Ryan, like Mohamed Sanu, like, I don't know. I don't understand the slander against that dude so much. But if he could get just a semi-decent defense, you would think he could do it. I want to ask you guys a question. Arthur Blank, what is the perception around him in Atlanta? Like, being that I'm somebody that lives here in Houston, Texas, and I'm watching the just spiral and fall from grace that the Texans are having and the terrible ownership, especially since Bob McNair passed away and handed the keys over to his son who inherited the team. Like, it's just terrible ownership here in Houston from the top down. Arthur Blank, though, I've always felt like he wants to win. And like, I feel like he tries to do the right things. They just don't work out. Whereas opposed to the Texans, you don't even really know if Cal McNair, who inherited the team, really wants to even be the owner of the team. You know what I mean? Like, what is the perception of Arthur Blank there in Atlanta? Do you like him?
Yeah, we like him. He's great for the community. He does a lot of stuff for Atlanta. When we talk about like activism with Black Lives Matter and everything, he's like he carries that torch here in Atlanta. He carries a high. But he has a winning competitive mindset. He was an owner, Home Depot, built that up to a conglomerate. And you talking about Atlanta United, they second year in the league, they won the championship. So it's nothing like people thinking that, oh, well, he don't want to, we need to get new. I see people say stupid stuff all the time.
Right.
Like it just made me if I could just go through the phone and just slap somebody, I would. Like somebody sat up there and said that, well, if we don't get it right this time, we need to Arthur needs to sell the team. I'm like, okay, like he's the owner, he can really do what he want to do. Like y'all sound so entitled. Somebody owe y'all something. No, nobody owe y'all anything for one. But to answer your question, like he does want to win. He does want to win. It just, it takes a while. And you got to think about it. There's 31 other teams too want to win as well.
Right.
So I felt like we should have got rid of Dan Quinn last year, but I think Arthur Blank gave him a benefit of the doubt of how the season ended last year when we won all those games, and he thought that it was going to pretty much carry over to the next year because they was looking at like how that 97 team and 98 team did it, and how we did it in 2015 and 2016, and we went to the Super Bowl that year as well. And I think they was predicating everything off of that. But I just always knew that Dan Quinn was just never a good hire. And I feel like when we fired Dan Quinn and Thomas and Meatroff, you could see the tone and you can see you can hear it in his voice that he wants a leader among men. He's tired of losing. He's saying that this team is not a below 500 team.
Right.
Yeah, I'm a strong proponent of I wanted Dan Quinn fired after the Super Bowl, like immediately. But I knew that wasn't gonna happen because he just went to the Super Bowl and ain't nobody gonna fire their head coach right after that. But from that day on, I didn't like Dan Quinn. When you don't have the kahunas to say, hey, we about to run the ball and play good defense, then
make the in-game adjustments. That's the thing, making the in-game adjustments.
That's what matters. That's what matters, man. In-game adjustments. You can have a game plan, i.e. why I don't think the Falcons going to win today, because they're going to go on with a game plan. That game plan is going to stay the same all the way through the game, and then the Chargers going to find a way to pick it apart. So
Chargers do the same thing the Falcons do. I feel like you're giving the Chargers way too much credit.
I like Justin Herbert, so maybe I am.
I do too. He made me a liar because coming out of college, I didn't have, honest to God, I did not have high expectations for him, and he's completely made me a liar. But yeah, no, that ain't no solid lock or nothing. So,
but it's the thing with Herbert. Everybody saw what Marcus Mariota, Joey Harrington. Oregon quarterbacks just never panned out in the league. But I try to tell people that was another good quarterback that came out of Oregon. A lot of people forget.
Yeah, that's right. What happened to him? Where he?
Talking about Chris Miller?
No, I was talking about Mariota.
Oh yeah, Mariota. Yeah, but I was talking about Chris Miller. Like Chris Miller played for Oregon, and we had him here in Atlanta, so he was good. For the most part. He wasn't like Matt Ryan. He wasn't Matt Ryan or Steve Barkowski good, but he was a serviceable quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
But Justin Herbert is not like your ideal mobile quarterback. He only runs when necessary. He has like that. Yeah, he has like that Aaron Rodgers mobility, probably just a younger version of Aaron Rodgers mobility. They only run when they need to, but they can put on the jets and take off, and you'd be like, "Oh, is that a quarterback?"
Yeah, and he's bigger. He's got to be. I don't know the height on both of them, but he's got to be bigger than Rodgers. I feel like just looking at him, that dude's just thick as hell. Like he kind of size-wise, with like the big legs and everything, kind of reminds me of like Andrew Luck in a sense. Like one of those dudes, probably just hard as hell to take down, but he's really good. I kind of have a bias against the Pac-12 in general. Honestly, I don't have a lot of respect for them. I haven't for a couple of years. So like every quarterback that comes out of the Pac-12, I'm just like, nope, bust. There's just
you got to think about it too. It's all about development. Like I feel like he has a talent, and nobody in Los Angeles is developing this kid right now. That whole coach staff just got to go.
Yeah.
But I know he was going to be a good quarterback in the league, but I didn't know his he was going to be like this now. Mm-hmm. I was expecting this, how the way he's playing right now, like probably 2 or 3 years from now.
Right.
And so he just caught on just like that. That's why yesterday I did a show on Brian Schottenheimer, another coach scouting on him. And I said, well, if he decides to go to Los Angeles, the Chargers, which I think he won't because how the way they did his dad, he's a quarterback guru. Mm-hmm. And him and Justin Herbert, I think that would be a deadly duo.
Yeah. Yeah, agree.
Yeah. And to put perspective on his size, he's 6'6", 240.
Yeah, that's a good size right there.
Yeah, that's like big. Cam Newton size.
Yeah.
Like that's a big dude. Man.
Yeah, I played against Cam Newton in middle school, and that was hard to
Really?
Yep. It was hard taking him down.
Even back then, huh?
Yeah. He was big then.
Yeah. That's crazy. But Justin Herbert, he's what I've read about him and stuff, like he seems like a really mature person too. Like, did he like stay in college an extra year? I know he was like, what he was going to school for was something, it was like biochemistry or something. Like he was, if it didn't work out in sports, he wanted to basically go to med school. And like, he just seems like a really, really smart guy with a good head on his shoulders and like a maturity that you don't get with a lot of young kids coming right out of college. So, I mean, I think it shows because nothing around him has gone right, but he has given the Chargers a little bit of life and just made me want to watch a Chargers game, which I really didn't plan on watching any this year. But now I want to because of him, So, yeah.
All right. So, we don't know. All right, because I meant to ask you this: who do you think we should hire as a head coach? I meant to ask you this.
I mean, the name that I've been thinking about throughout this whole show is who you said, the offensive coordinator of the Bills, like just off the top of my head.
Mm-hmm.
What is his name?
Brian Dabble?
Yeah. Thank you. I had brain freeze right there. But yeah, I mean, I would, even you said it, like he has a track record of success. And I'm really a proponent of, I would like an offensive minded head coach. Like that's just the way I see the league trending. And I just think it's the most important thing is to have the best, the quarterback's focus of your team, whether it's Matt Ryan or it's somebody else. You want the younger person that they bring in or whoever they draft or whatever to be groomed appropriately. And I'm not saying that a defensive coach can't do that. They can, but I don't know. I feel offense. I just really want an offensive coach.
All right, I'm gonna be devil's advocate for a second. Bill O'Brien, Anthony Lynn, Matt Nagy, all of them are what?
Yeah.
They all offensive minded head coaches and do well. Doug Peterson, he won the Super Bowl. And they may end up firing him not after this year, but definitely next year if he don't get his act together.
Right.
You also have
let's be honest, how he won that Super Bowl. That Super Bowl was predicated on that RPO type of offense.
And the Eagles defense played well. And let's be honest, that the whole offensive line of the Eagles, they were all Pro Bowlers.
Yes,
that year. Like that helps your team. Yeah. That helps your team. I try to tell people, if you're not winning in the trenches, you're not winning anything. Period. Point blank.
Respect to the Eagles for winning that Super Bowl. But that was, I don't think that had anything to do with, of course, Doug Peterson, yes, is the head coach. He had to call the plays, whatever. But still, that defense and that offensive line was deadly. So
it was really good. But to your point about Bill O'Brien, I think that he is, first of all, I think Bill O'Brien is meant for the college game. I think that's the only place where he's ever going to find success as a head coach. And, at the time that they hired him, it all made sense. And I was with it because he was an offensive guy, so to speak. And you knew that he spent time with Tom Brady. And so anytime anybody gets to work with Tom Brady, they probably get a little more credit than they should. But what I saw him do at Penn State really impressed me because, well, first of all, he convinced a dude like Christian Hackenberg, who was highly, highly recruited, to come play for him while they were under sanctions. So there was no chance in hell that, they were going to get to play, I think, in bowl games or whatever, because the whole Sandusky thing had happened. But Alabama really wanted Christian Hackenberg, from what I understand. And, he still chose a school under sanctions over Alabama. I'm assuming because he thought that he would be groomed for the NFL better under Bill O'Brien than under probably a run-heavy, defensive-heavy. It looks better too, right? You probably put up better numbers in the Big Ten at the time than you would in the SEC. So, but, and then he got, 7 wins out of that team, I think? That in itself really just impressed me, especially with all the departures from the team. Players could leave, transfer, whatever. That impressed me a lot. But outside of college, I don't think Bill O'Brien's ever going to have success anywhere because I don't think his shtick is going to work anywhere. Like, look at your guy, Harbaugh, Michigan, right? The perception around Harbaugh and what they say about him and what players have said about their past experiences with him. Like, he's bossy. He's a little crazy. He's like OCD. Like, I've heard,
he micromanages too much.
Right. Yeah. He micromanages. He's just got all these weird sayings and stuff. Like, I don't know. He's like a bizarre guy. But when you're coaching young people who aren't getting paid, I feel like that shtick works. But whenever you get to the pro level and you're dealing with all these grown-ass men who are making way more money than you, and you try to be basically an asshole to people, but your team isn't winning, like that, it doesn't work. You know what I mean? Like, the 49ers, how many players retired early just to get away from Harbaugh? I felt like it, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. So I feel like he is kind of the exception, not the rule.
Yeah, I think with Bill O'Brien, he was a good offensive coordinator with the Patriots. That was a season they went to in 2011. They went to the Super Bowl and they lost against the Giants.
Wasn't he just the quarterback's coach? Because McDaniels was the offensive coordinator, right?
McDaniels was still in
no, he's young.
Denver.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, but yeah, let me just look at it. But I think McDaniels was still in Denver at that time. But let me see. Bill O'Brien, I think he was the OC there in New England.
People gave him way too many props. A lot of people liked him because the most common vision that people think of in their head whenever you would mention Bill O'Brien was that one game where you saw him yelling and screaming at Tom Brady on the sidelines. And everybody was like, oh, man, if you'll yell at Tom Brady, I want you to be the coach of the Texans. You're going to bring structure and discipline of the Patriots.
And that's the problem. That's the problem with people, man. They want flash. They see stuff and they be like, oh, man, we need this here. Bill O'Brien, he was OC in 2011 for the
okay.
That's why I remember that. Because it was a lot of people saying, oh, they need to bring him here and stuff like that. And then that's when he went to Penn State. But that's an issue. Everybody wants flash. Everybody see, oh, this person just won a Super Bowl. We need to bring him up. Okay, well, look at his track record. How did he do? How his offense or defense or whatever side of the ball compared all those years he's been with the said teams.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you got to look at. So when I do my coach scouting shows and stuff, and when I say this is the guy I want, because I had a top 10 list. This is the guy I want because I looked at their records. Not just records, but I look at their DVOA on Football Outsiders and see how their defense, was it a top 10 defense?
Mm-hmm.
How did they do against the run? How did they do against the pass? Which coaching tree this guy come out of? All that right there is important. Bill O'Brien just was not proven, but he was not good to begin with. You look at the coaching tree. Bill Belichick's coaching tree is not looking good.
Right.
You look at the system they run up there in New England. It's always been there. So you try to replicate that and take it somewhere else. It doesn't work. Bill Belichick, he has a system that he wants, and it cannot be replicated at all.
Right. Agree with you 100%. But everybody that ever works with him or their name's tied to him is always going to get a shot somewhere just because of that.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much.
The only person I think that may work out and have some success is Dabble. I think Dabble, because not only he comes from Bill Belichick's tree, he also comes from Nick Saban's tree.
Right.
He was there at Michigan State, the beginning of 99 to 2000 or something like that. Then he went to New England, won Super Bowls with them. Then he went to Alabama, won the national championship. Then he came back to the pros and been in Buffalo since.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I feel like Buffalo is going to be. I think they're the favorite coming out of the AFC. I understand a lot of people talking about Kansas City. I think Buffalo's going to knock off Kansas City if they see them in the playoffs. Yes, mark my word. Kansas City is not repeating.
Huh. Oh, it's hard to repeat for sure, but I feel like if anybody can do it, it's Kansas City. I've never felt more confident about that with any other team than I was rewatching this morning while I was getting ready to come to the station. I was rewatching the Buccaneers Chiefs game because it was on the NFL Network this morning, and I was just in awe. I cannot imagine being a defensive coordinator trying to scheme up against Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. It's just insane. It looks almost effortless by him to just make some of these crazy throws, and somehow everybody gets open. Somehow people are open every time, and now they can run the ball better than ever. Buffalo's defense scares me.
Yeah,
their defense scares me. They're soft in the middle.
Their defense. That's what I'm telling you. Their defense scares me as well, and their offense is so good. You don't know what you're going to get out of them each game because the game it switches up.
Yeah.
But this is what I've been trying to tell people because everybody talking about Pittsburgh go on Super Bowl or Kansas City. Those two teams, and we see this all the time. Teams peak early. Just with the Saints. Saints, they all high and mighty right now. That's what's going to happen with them again. They're going to lose. They're going to lose. All right? Because they peak early. It's going to be a team that pretty much that's been quiet all season. They've been winning games and they go in the playoffs. Boom. Dominating. Straight to the Super Bowl.
No, I don't have the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl either, but I have them getting there still. I think they're gonna have a lot of tough roads ahead of them. So when they finally do get there, it's gonna be a problem, and Aaron Rodgers is gonna win the Super Bowl. So
really,
I got A-Rod winning the Super Bowl this year.
I feel like I do have the Packers going to the Super Bowl as well for the NFC. It's either them or Seattle. I think everybody said, but here's the thing. I know Seattle haven't been looking good right now, but we know how the Seahawks play when they get in the playoffs. Don't sleep on them when they get in that playoffs. I'm telling you.
Right. Yeah, that defense is terrible. Terrible. But when Russ is cooking, like I preseason I had the Seahawks playing in the Super Bowl. I had Seahawks Chiefs is who I predicted, but now the Seahawks done kind of fallen off a little bit. But I think they'll get right again.
Yeah. So you say you like Dabble. Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
You really don't care about the GM, do you? Or you have somebody in mind?
No, I wouldn't say I care that much. I do think, though, that the GM should make the hire, whoever they choose. I do believe that that's the order it should go in. I think the GM needs to make the coaching hire. I don't like it whenever teams do it out of order, reverse it, but no, as long as it's somebody that's aggressive and not super conservative. I want to see somebody who's not afraid to take risks or go out and do whatever it takes to, like, if you're coming up on the trade deadline and you have a really, really good team, but you just feel like you're that one missing piece away, I want to see somebody aggressively go grab it. You know what I mean? Because I'm all about, if I think I can win a championship this year and maybe kind of suck for the next 5 years versus knowing that I'll be good, but not guaranteeing a Super Bowl for the next 5 years. Like, I would rather just win now. Like, get it now while you can. That's how I feel. Yeah. So I want a GM that has the same mentality.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We need to look. We just need that one. We get a Super Bowl. Hey, I'm good. I will. Look. I have lived the best days of my life on this earth. If Falcons win the Super Bowl, I won't ask for nothing else. I promise.
Same.
People who think you get a Super Bowl, you're allowed to suck for the next 10 years. So I don't care.
Absolutely.
Telling you.
I got 10 years to suck. Speaking of Patrick Mahomes, man, they're having a dogfight right now with the Dolphins. Threw 2 picks.
Oh, yeah.
Really? The Dolphins defense is real, man. I had them in fantasy. They're getting me double digits like every week. So they're really good.
It is the Chiefs, so it could be 14-10 until 2 seconds left on the clock, and they find a way.
Right.
I told y'all about the Chiefs, and they do this to teams like this some part of the season. But when they get into a legit, go up against a legit playoff team, oh yeah, they gonna get exposed. So
really,
yeah.
Damn, I've not heard anybody slander the Chiefs this year until right now, this very moment.
I like the Chiefs. I went to school in Missouri, and I spent a lot of my time in Kansas City. I love the food. That's a place I just wanted to go and just, live. But, I came back to Georgia. So, hey, it's not complaining about it. But I just feel like they won that Super Bowl last year. And, they're going to have success. I just don't see them repeating. Because there's just so much stuff that's going on right now. And then, and I do feel like when your coordinators are doing well, they're trying to get a job. And we see this happen a lot of time with coordinators, trying to leave and go get a job. They're not really focused that much on the team anymore. They're trying to figure out, okay, well, I need to go to do these many interviews for this team. If I get this job, where I'm going to stay in the city, things of that nature.
Yeah. What do you think about, what's his name? Over there with the Chiefs, talking about GMs, Mike, what's his name, Borgonzi? Whatever he was, I have a lot of respect for Chris Ballard in such a brief time. The roster that he's constructed for the Colts, I think, is one of the best rosters in the league. Honestly, everywhere except the quarterback position. I don't have any faith in Phillip Rivers, but Borgonzi with the Chiefs, I think he's like the director of personnel or the director of operations over there. I know that he's kind of considered like a general manager candidate.
Yeah, I have, he's on my top 5 list. He's lower though. I like Ortiz, because he's been with that organization. He's been with that Ravens organization since '98. So he's seen it all, done it all. Another person I like is Jeff Ireland, assistant general manager for the Saints. Look how he's turned that team around since he's been there since 2015, and the picks they made and building that defense up. Another person would be George Payton.
Vikings, right?
Yep, he's good. I feel like he'd be a good one. And then that guy right there for Kansas City, I think he'd be good as well. So.
Yeah. I'd really like to steal Chris Ballard, but unfortunately, he already got a job.
Yeah, another person would be Will McClay. He's lower on that list as well. What he did with the Cowboys draft picks is just the Cowboys just a poorly coached team. So
yeah, talk about underachieving, right there.
So that's America's team, though.
What's that?
That's America's team, though.
Yeah, that's what they tell me. That's what they tell me.
And this is not 1995 anymore. Dude, this is 2020. So, but so if you think we make all the hires the right way, how do you see this team looking next year? Do you think we'll make the play? I don't like doing predictions, but I do like asking people this. How do you see us next year?
Well, I mean, hopefully healthy. If they can protect Matt Ryan, I think the sky's the limit, to be honest with you. And let's just take into consideration also, not just next year, but maybe the year after that. Like, I don't think Drew Brees is going to play again after this season. Do y'all think that? Like, because I think he's about to hang it up, right?
Yeah.
I think he's done. That's it. Like, each year, like the past couple of years, he's been getting hurt and he missed time.
Right.
Just give it up, man. Like, I know they've been trying to capture lightning in the bottle and have him right out in the sunset like they did Peyton Manning, but just give it up, man. You had a good career. You won the Super Bowl. You've been in the talks to win MVP, but you just never won it. But I think this is it, man. I really think this is it, because if they don't, then they're gonna the Saints cap is gonna be looking horrific next year.
Yeah, they're like 70-something million over it already, I think. Yep. Something crazy. They've just been operating like there is no cap. But
they can down the road for the past few years, trying to, they've been all sabotaging the future on just getting a ring for Drew Brees instead of them just moving on from this guy and actually, doing something. Because I felt like if they would have drafted Deshaun Watson, because they was there, like they could have got Deshaun Watson and they could have got, I believe, Pat Mahomes in 2017, and they went and got they got the DB from Ohio State. I forgot it, Lattimore, and
trash.
Yeah, trash. And I feel like y'all had a chance to move on right then and there. But, it is what it is. I'm glad they made the right move, because I've been trying to tell people, Breeze has been holding them back.
Yeah.
Breeze, he put up the numbers, but when it comes to playoff time, he does not perform well.
Right. Yeah, he's definitely limited.
Yes. Throwing picks, and we had a Saints person on the show a couple of weeks ago. He was pretty much trying to dog Matt Ryan, saying we need to move on from Matt Ryan, and Matt Ryan cost us a Super Bowl, which is far from the truth. We know our defense.
Ridiculous.
Yes. 27. We walked in Houston with a 27 ranked defense. That's unheard of for a Super Bowl team. We ain't supposed to be there anyway, but we got there and we did the best we could. And Matt Ryan, you look at the quarterback rating he has the best, like the top 3 best quarterback rating in Super Bowl history. Correct.
Yeah, he definitely showed up. He did his job. It still blows my mind that the Patriots, right, they're down 25 points coming out of halftime. The second half of the game, down that far, they still ran the ball 4 minutes longer than we did. Yep. Like, it makes no sense to me why. But I mean, oh God, I feel like we'll never get over that one. Yep. But what I was thinking earlier, I guess what I was alluding to is that I'm looking at the division, and Drew Brees, I don't think he's going to play again next year. He's already got a contract with NBC made and everything. I think he's going to go sit up in the booth and call games as a
man, I will be putting the TV on mute when he's talking.
But and then I look at Tom Brady, And I think he's going to play this year and next year. I don't know what I expect to see 3 years down the road. I still think Matt Ryan could play really well. And I just see the division opening up really soon, sooner rather than later. And Teddy Bridgewater ain't scaring me. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not scared of him. And wasn't it Taysom? They're going to figure him out. Like, he will be figured out, and he'll probably be a good quarterback for them if they choose to stick with him. But I just don't see the Taysom Hill thing. To me, it just feels like a short little trend. I don't expect it to last. I see the division opening up, and they really need to capitalize and take advantage of that. The Falcons do. And so, I mean, honestly, my expectations next year are going to be the same as they were this year, because I just think there's too much dang talent on the team. But hopefully they go out, they make the right decision, and they get the right coach, the right GM, they draft well. But like King said, in 1 year, a franchise can literally be turned around. I don't see why this team cannot do that, and I fully expect them to do that.
You had, like we talked about, the Colts did it in 2018. You go back to 2009 when Rex Ryan got there with the Jets. They did it. They played in the AFC Championship game.
Yep.
Could have been in the Super Bowl that year.
Right.
Like, let's look at our team, 2008, when Mike Smith got there. We was pretty much the laughing stock of the league. Like, that was dark times in 2007. We had Joey Harrison and doggone Brian Leftwich as our quarterback.
Yeah.
Drafted Matt Ryan, 2008. We won. We got a wild card spot. Could have won in Arizona if it weren't for doggone. Man, I ain't gonna bring that man up. Man,
Yeah.
keep working, man. Keep working. But like I said, it can be done. You can turn fortune around by just hiring the right coaching to change the culture of your team.
Right. Yeah, they definitely need that. They need that for sure. But yeah, I have high expectations. I expect them to be a playoff team next year.
Yeah, same here, playoff team. But that's my expectation.
Oh man, Auburn just fired Gus Malzahn.
Huh? Imagine that.
I kind of saw that coming.
Yeah.
So
yeah, they underperform.
Yep.
Too much talent that they can recruit, not to be, we're talking about Georgia and talking about Kirby Smart, and you guys say that in your opinion, Georgia has not had success under Kirby Smart. Like, look at Auburn. They haven't really been relevant in a while, I feel like.
But they've been it's just the division that they play in. The SEC West is hard.
Yeah,
you got Bama. You playing Bama every year. You playing LSU every year. You're playing sometimes you never know, give or take, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, they can be kind of good some years. Alabama, Texas A&M, all right, can be, kind of a team that can, every other year may be good. So this is why I tell people, like, the SEC West is so good. The SEC East is a weak division. This is why they need to realign it. I will put Auburn in the East to give it a little bit more weight, because all teams in the East, you got Georgia and Florida.
Yeah.
That's
true. That's true. That's a good point.
And you move Mizzou to the West. Mizzou ain't got no business. First off, Mizzou ain't got no business.
Mizzou can just go. Anyway. They can just go. Yeah, they don't even need to be. They give somebody else a spot or something.
Go back to the Big 12 where they belong, really. But that drive from Georgia to Mizzou, that's a long drive. Like I said, I went to college up there. I didn't go to Mizzou. I went to HBCU. That's like 30 minutes down the road from Columbia. Like that's a drive. That's a day drive right there.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So, but let's see. All right. So tell us about, before you go, Pickwise, your YouTube channel on there, and then ESPN Houston Radio. Tell everybody about that, how that works, and where you can make their picks at, and follow you guys and subscribe to you guys.
Yeah, for sure. So the radio show I do is right here at ESPN 97.5 and also ESPN 92.5 here in the Houston region. But anybody, I have some people that call in the show and listen. They're out there in Atlanta. You can live stream it on the ESPN 97.5 browser or download the app or whatever. We also, our studio is set up like it's staged. So we're on Twitch. They're really big on Twitch and up in the Twitch views. So every radio show we do can also be watched live streaming through Twitch. And then the Pickswise NFL show that I do with Jeff Reinbold is on YouTube and Spotify. So you could subscribe to that, get a notification every time a new episode is up. New episodes are posted. We record them usually on Wednesdays. They go up on Thursdays after, the bosses do all their editing and whatnot. And it's definitely something you got to check out. Also, pickswise.com. Like if you're into sports betting at all, whether you're taking a trip, I don't know what the laws are in Georgia yet whenever it comes to sports books and stuff.
It's not legal, but people, what they do is they drive to Tennessee and they make if you're in North Georgia, right, if you're in Atlanta, you just drive to Tennessee. Right. You make your pick and then you go back to Georgia.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's cool. Yeah. Well, it's not legal here in Texas, but there's plenty of websites that you can do it at. Like here, a big sponsor of our station is mybookie.ag. And they're really great. They pay out pretty quickly and stuff. And you can do it through Bitcoin if you want, or regular transactions. They have really good customer service. I really like MyBookie, but of course, you guys can Google the other sites if you're interested in it or you're into it. But yeah, if you're wanting to place a bet on football, you definitely got to check out the YouTube show I do with Jeff Reinbold. And then if you want to place a bet on any sport, and I'm talking any sport, go to pickswise.com. They have little short reads on every single game of every day of every sport you can think of. And they tell you what the best bets are, props, parlays, all that good stuff. So, but yeah, that's what we do on the YouTube show. And it's a lot of fun. And we've had some great guests, a lot of ex-NFL players. Sean Salisbury is regular because he's a good friend of mine. We used to do a show together. We had Nick Ferguson of the Broncos the other day. Had Sammy Coates on. Used to play with the Steelers. So, I mean, we try to get every perspective that we can, and we have a lot of fun doing it. So definitely check that out. Subscribe to it. And you can find, I post everything that I do goes up on my Twitter. It's at GameDayOJ. It's pretty much my social media handles for every outlet. And keep up with whatever I'm doing that day.
All right. We appreciate you so much for coming on this afternoon.
Yeah, I had fun.
We will definitely bring you back on to talk Falcons football or any other sport. You love Atlanta, so this is what we do. Forever I Love Atlanta Sports Podcast.
I love it. You guys both live in Atlanta?
No, I don't stay in Atlanta. I stay in
where? Where at?
North Carolina.
Oh, North Carolina. Okay.
I'm pretty much in transit. I'm like back and forth. I'm right now. I'm staying in like South Tennessee, like Chattanooga area. Okay. But I do come to Atlanta. I'm right here in Atlanta right now, at my mom's house. Mm-hmm. But I am making that move. Probably maybe moving back soon. We'll see how everything goes. But I'm here pretty much a lot. So
that's what's up.
But we Forever I Love Atlanta Sports Podcast. We cover everything. That's Atlanta sports. We cater to it pretty much. And we talk intelligent football. We don't say dumb takes that makes no sense at all, that has no merit behind it. But just check us out. Follow us back on Twitter. We also have a Facebook page. We have, I also run a sports media group called Georgia Sports Hospitality Media. We're under that company as well. So we're doing a lot of great things over here. So
that's what's up, man. Yeah, you definitely have my support, and I'll come back on anytime you want.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Everybody who's watching this show live, thank y'all for watching this. I know some good games on right now. Y'all decided to watch our podcast. Appreciate it. If you watch this at a later time, hit us up in the comment section. Let us know what you think about the show. If you're new to the channel, you already know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. Also hit that like button. Share this content out with other Atlanta sports fanatics. I will be back tomorrow with another episode of The Don's Favor. I will be covering Jeff Ireland, the assistant general manager for the New Orleans Saints. and how I feel like we should interview him to be our next GM. So check that out tomorrow around noon-ish. You have anything to plug?
Yes, I'll be doing a wrap-up of Hawks basketball on Tuesday night. Make sure y'all check it out. Kings Realm ATL Sports. We'll be live talking Hawks basketball, wrap up the preseason, and get ready for the regular season.
All right. Hey, thank y'all again for watching. We about to get up out of here and watch some football. And 425, you guys, let's get it. Rise up. Y'all have a great afternoon. And always, King, tell them.
Always love yourself.
All right. On that note, we out.